guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all well. Another week in quarantine, another fresh little cut. I'm basically my own barber now, so I don't need to spend any more money. But yeah, looks pretty good, don't you think? Okay, so basically today we're going to be making one of my favourite Indian sweets. It's called Kaju Katli, which translates to cashew fudge. Looks like this. So I'm going to be making my own version today. Shout out to my Indian people out there. So if you know, Mithai translates to sweets in Gujarati or Hindi or something. And basically on any occasion, whether it's like birthday, a wedding, a celebration, like graduation or whatever, like you always get one of these small little boxes, or they come quite big, of like Mithai, which is like an arranged assortment of Indian sweets. I'll put one up on the screen here. So this is what it looks like, and I always go for these little diamonds because it's got silver on it, so it looks cool. Like, I do like silver, and it just tastes so good. So yeah, I'm going to be making that today. So this is a very quick and simple recipe. It's only got 6 ingredients. One of them is water, so it's really simple. So the full recipe will be linked down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below because it really helps me out. Thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, first of all, I'm just going to blitz the cashews. I'm going to do like half batch at a time. And basically you either do this in your food processor or blender, but you want to get it to like a fine crumb consistency. You don't want it too fine, otherwise it's going to start releasing oils and it will become a paste, and you don't want that. Kind of want it to be kind of like almond flour consistency. Okay, so I've just blended my cashews here, you can see. So it's like a nice powdery form. I'm just going to keep that like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, it's kind of like a simple syrup or a stock syrup. But basically I'm going to combine some caster sugar and some water in a pan. Just let that all dissolve and then bring it to a boil. And boil it for around 1 minute. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the cashew mixture, 2 tablespoons of ghee, and then some cardamom as well, just to boost and complement the flavour really. Yeah, so let's do that. Okay, so we're just going to heat that up gently until all the sugar's dissolved, and then we'll just bring it to a boil for around 1 minute, and then we can add the cashews. By the way, if you're enjoying these Indian recipes, be sure to give this a thumbs up, and I'll carry on because I know there's a lot of things that I do want to try that like I've grown up with eating, so yeah, let me know, just hit the like button and I'll carry on doing these Indian recipes. Okay, so all of the sugar has dissolved now, so we're just going to bring that up to the boil for 1 more minute, and then we can add the cashews. Okay, so I'm just going to add the cashews in now. Like so. So I've added the cashews in now and give it a good stir. You can use a whisk at this point as well, just to make sure everything's smooth and there's no lumps. Okay, so I've just added the cashews in now, and I've just added it using a whisk just to make sure there's no lumps. But yeah, I've lowered the heat, and now I'm just going to continue stirring this for about 10 to 12 minutes, just to make sure that all the water's evaporated and a dough is formed basically. Okay, so I've just actually looked at what the ghee does. And basically it just helps create a smoother texture and a little bit of shine at the end. So yeah, I'm just going to add that now, and I'm also going to add a teaspoon of cardamom as well, just to help with the flavour. So yeah, as you can see, I've just added the cardamom and the ghee, and I'm just going to continue stirring that until the dough is formed. And as you can see, yeah, it is a lot more shinier now. Also, don't forget to add a splash of rose water as well, so just 1 teaspoon. And that'll just help enhance the flavour too. So just keep stirring that. So as you can see, it's been about 5 minutes now, and it's a lot more thicker. So just keep on stirring, and I'll catch up with you in about 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes now, and one way to make sure or one way to check if it's done, is I'm just going to take a small bit, put it on a plate, and we're just going to let that sit for a couple minutes. And then what we can do is if we can roll it in between our fingers and it forms like a nice dough, then it's ready. But if not, we're just going to have to continue stirring. As you can see, I'm trying to roll it in my fingers, but it's very sticky and it's not rolling into a ball, so it still needs to cook out for a little bit longer. Okay, so I've just been rolling this in with my fingers and it's created a non-stick ball. So I think the mixture's ready. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is the mixture's ready, so I'm just going to pour it out onto a baking sheet. Like so, and what we're going to do is we're going to let this rest for around 3 to 4 minutes just so it's easier to handle. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put some gloves on and we're going to knead it for around 5 minutes to get it nice and smooth. Okay, so the mixture's been sitting here for about 3 to 4 minutes now, and it's still very hot, but it's manageable when I touch it. So I'm just going to put my gloves on and I'm just going to knead it for about 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure how to knead this, but what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to fold the corners of it, stiffen it a little bit. Yeah, I think what happened was because it was starting to stick, I think I should let it cool down a little bit more. But as you can see now, still quite nice and smooth, and I can play around with it and it doesn't really stick to the counter or my hands. Nice and clean. So I'm gonna do this for another like 2 minutes, and then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna sandwich it in between 2 layers of baking paper and roll it out into a nice thin layer. Probably, I think it's like, we'll do like ½ centimeter or so. And then we can lay it on the gold foil as well, and we can cut it. Okay, so now I've rolled it out nice and even, as you can see here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the silver foil and lay some on top, and then we can cut it. If you don't have access to silver foil, that's okay. This is just a decorative piece. It doesn't make it taste any better or different or anything. We just normally use this traditionally. It's just like a decorative thing on top. So if you can't find this in any supermarket, what I suggest, I'll leave it in the link in the description. But I found this on Amazon. This is edible silver leaf. It's just in box. Take it off here. Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm gonna take this off. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so I heard if you pick it up with your fingers, oh, yeah, and then we're going to lay it on. Oh, there it is. I think the moisture just helps it stick and it dissolves. Might just get a little tissue, pat it down. There we go. I'm going to do a couple more. Okay, so I've just finished putting the foil on and it actually looks so good. So here you can see. Okay, so yeah, but just before I put it in the fridge to set up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it into diamonds, but you could cut it into squares, you could punch it out into circles, but traditionally it's diamonds, so I'm going to do diamonds. Okay guys, so I finished it now, and it was really simple, like I thought it was gonna be. I was a little bit worried at the kneading stage because I think I didn't let it cool down enough, so obviously it was sticking to everything, including my gloves. But yeah, I think next time I do it, or just a tip for you guys, is if once you've poured it onto the sheet, just let it cool for a good like 5 to 10 minutes before you start touching it, because then it will cool down enough so it doesn't start sticking to everything, and then you can safely handle it with your hands. But yeah, and it's literally like 5 ingredients, so it's really quick and easy. It took me about half an hour, and this was a double recipe as well, so I think I'm gonna stick to that. So yeah. And subscribe.